Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the month of July 2025. And happy birthday to you, July Leos out there. You have this juniper card. It says standing strong. You have a century plant. It says look upwards. So I feel that it's time to grow here, Leo. I think a lot of you, and look, you cannot make this up. You have the star here, and that card says look up, or it says look upwards. And the star is about having a North Star, looking up and seeing your guiding light, or, finding something that can be your guiding light. It could be a goal, wish, dream, could be a focus with the Ace of Swords, because Ace of Swords is a laser-like focus. It's just, kind of a card of picking one thing and making it happen. And the Standing Strong card, I feel, is talking about like your commitment to the goal, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish or achieve in your life, or whatever you're trying to change here. It doesn't really matter, but I think that, kind of like committing to something and seeing it through to the end is a little bit of a secret. And it is a secret right now because we have all this energy in Aries. And I think for a lot of people, all this Aries stuff is kind of asking everyone to, pick one thing, and see it through to the end, whatever it is, goal, wish, dream, and, something you want to work on, something you want to create. You have the star. As always, I feel like you get the star with me a lot. By the way, this is coming up in your first row, which is your current general energies for July. And the star, I feel, like I said, is a card that you get a lot with me, Leo. The star is about having a North Star, having that guiding light, this one star right here. It's also a card of believing that something is possible. She's pouring this water here onto the earth, and that water comes from the pool of universal consciousness. That water basically says that what's possible for one person is possible for everyone, and it is popping into my head for you, Leo, that you need to believe that something is possible. Like whatever you're trying to accomplish here, which is clearly something great. You're like trying to accomplish something good. You have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, Judgment, which is your purpose. The Magician, which says you have the talents, gifts, skills, and abilities to do this. I think the star is really saying you need to believe that it's possible. But also with the star, the star is about finding an example. It can be a card that says maybe you need to go see, or maybe you need to look for people who have been successful doing what you want to do. And sometimes when we gain that perspective, when we see someone who's done something that we want to do, then it can make us think like, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I think some of you maybe need an example, or like a mentor or something like that. That is also popping into my head. But like I said, the star's been following you around for a while, I think, Leo, so definitely a time to focus. You have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, things are not going to go exactly according to plan, but I don't think that's a bad thing for you, Leo. I would be flexible. The Knight of Wands says be spontaneous, and it just says like things are probably not going to go how you think, but again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're trying to accomplish something big. The Knight of Wands basically asks us to go on the journey. The Knight of Wands asks us to be spontaneous and be open to all ways of doing things. So if we're trying to accomplish something, we just have to stay open. And that's basically what I would do here with the Knight of Wands is be flexible, be open. And also, I would also be looking for spontaneous opportunity. If you get any random opportunities in work or business or whatever you're doing, those random opportunities could be very successful. You have the Fool. The Fool is encouraging you to take a leap of faith towards something that you have attracted, because we go up Knight of Swords to the Magician here. So, I kind of feel like this part of the reading is asking you to take action, or take a leap of faith towards something that you have asked for. And so if you've been asking the universe for anything, this is kind of like saying it's time to make your move, Leo. And, I really have nothing to add to that, because, that's pretty much all I feel like it's saying. It's like saying you have asked for something. The universe is like, okay, here you go. And all you have to do is like take a leap of faith. With the star, you have the Four Swords. Four Swords can be resting, relaxing, recovering, or healing. So a lot of you could be going through healing, or you have been going through some sort of healing. Again, another card of hoping and praying for something. He is hoping and praying for blessings. There's a person blessing another person in this window right here. So if you've been hoping or praying for any blessings, there definitely could be some blessings coming in here, Leo, or a blessing coming in for you. With the Knight of Wands, you have the star again. So how you accomplish the star doesn't really matter. This is basically saying just be flexible. The other thing I'm getting here, Leo, is that you have this card that says your commitment is being tested in your next row. Sometimes I feel with the star that she is just dipping her toes in the water, and really the star might be saying, like, you have to make the full 110% commitment to something to make it work. Like, as in, you can't just try whatever this goal is. You have to, like, really dive in head first and make it happen. And I kind of get that feeling for you, where the reading itself is saying, like, you can't just dip your toes in the water. You have to commit to going all the way. With the Fool, you have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is like the fear of something not working out, but really, he needs to realize that he has these 3 cups here and this other cup, but these 3 cups basically say he has the ingredients necessary to make this 1 cup work. He just needs to apply what he has learned from these 3 cups to this 1 cup, and he will be successful. So again, whatever your goal is here with the Star and the Ace of Swords, or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish at this time, it's clear to me you're trying to accomplish something. I think you need to realize that, number one, things will not necessarily fail like they have maybe up to 3 times before. And also, you are much more dangerous now, Leo. You have all this knowledge and wisdom that you can apply to this new situation. So it's like you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from a place of knowledge and wisdom. You know enough to be dangerous, right? And so I would go for whatever this is. Here you go. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card that says, believe in the impossible. You have this card that says, your commitment is being tested. Yes, I do think that you need to believe that something is for you, even if it seems impossible. It kind of makes sense that this would be coming up because, we have Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius is your opposite sign. There is a little bit of kind of like impossibility with Pluto and Aquarius. There is a little bit of that, things feeling like wouldn't be possible for you to have something that you want, or you feeling like something that would be too good to be true. Same thing with Neptune and Pisces. We have Neptune in Aries right now, but Neptune was in Pisces for a long time, and it will be retrograding back into Pisces this year. Neptune and Pisces is kind of like the impossible dream. So if there was ever a time where you should work towards something that seems impossible, it would be right now, because you probably can have it. And again, I think the commitment being tested thing is like the universe is saying, are you going to make that full 110% commitment? Are you going to go all the way, or are you just going to try something? Are you just going to dip your toes in the water? I think that if you just make something happen, you will literally make it happen. You have the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Justice card. The Ace of Swords is like a victory or a big success coming in for you. The Ace of Swords is also your focus. It's a laser-like focus. The Ace of Swords says if you pick one thing and make it your focus, you will make it happen. But the thing with the Ace of Swords is that sometimes we have to cut certain things out of our life. We have this palm frond right here and this olive branch over here. Palm fronds in the tarot can represent a sacrifice. Olive branches can be an offer of peace, but can also be abundance. So the Ace of Swords cuts both ways. And I'm saying this because you have the Magician right next to it. And the Magician sometimes says that to get something, we have to match the energy of what we want perfectly. And so there might be some like habits or belief systems, or there might be some things that you have to cut out of your life so that you can match the energy of what you want so you can get it. And I would do that with the Ace of Swords. You have the Knight of Swords. I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't be a Leo reading without the Knight of Swords now. It's like for months now, you've been getting the Knight of Swords with me. So no jumping to conclusions, no assumptions, as I always say, Leo, at this time. The Knight of Swords is really a card of just jumping to conclusions. He's being too hasty, and he's not thinking things through. He's trying to force something to work. But also, again, I would be careful of like just assuming things or jumping to conclusions on any decision you're making, and I would just slow things down. I don't really feel bad about it. I think you'll be fine. You have the Justice card. Justice is justice. Justice is also cause and effect. So with the Justice card, we need to pay attention to what's working, what's not working in our lives. If we look at what works and double down on what works and get rid of the bad stuff, then things could go very well for us. And that's basically what I would be doing with the card. I would make sure that you're doubling down on the good stuff and getting rid of the challenges right away, and things will go well. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles here. I wanted to say, money looks pretty good here, Leo. You don't have a ton of money cards here, but you do have the Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. I kind of feel that you are being more resourceful. The Ace of Swords could say that you're cutting things out that you no longer need. I do think, during times of retrograde, again, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde in the month of July. So during Mercury retrogrades, it's always a good time to look at your bank statements, make sure you're not spending money on things you don't need, make sure that you don't have 2 Netflix subscriptions at once, stuff like that. And so that it's always a good idea to double check, and that can help increase your your resources, which is always great. It's always, I always say also, during Mercury retrograde, it's usually a bad time to invest. I don't want to toot my own horn here, but if you've been listening to me for, I don't know, the past 8 freaking years, I've been telling people that before Mercury retrograde, pretty much every single one, Bitcoin seems to go down. Is it 100% true? No, but if you listened to me every time I brought it up, you probably would have made money. I don't know. Maybe I made money doing it. I don't know. Seems like a smart thing to pay attention to. So, again, not financial advice. I am functionally mentally challenged. I failed school my whole entire life. Major ADHD. I can, barely do math. So I'm not maybe a good person to listen to. Although maybe I am. I don't know. But what I would say here is that, there could be some... It's a good time to research financial stuff is what I would say. But not necessarily invest, right? You have the Ace of Swords again, which is a victory. Definitely could be good news coming in for you as well with the Ace of Swords, so love it. With the Justice card, here you go, Ten of Pentacles. Yes, I think it would be an amazing time for research. Ten of Pentacles is an amazing card for learning. Sometimes the Ten of Pentacles can represent hidden or secret information. It's a card of building, leaving a legacy, which is also amazing for finances. A lot of you could be focused on doing things to improve your finances, which is a great idea with this card. But again, it can represent hidden or secret information. So again, if you're thinking about doing something with your finances, it might not be a good month to actually do it, but it would be a good month to plan it out. Like if you're thinking about making an investment, or if you're thinking about spending money on your business or something like that, it might be a good month to do the research to make sure that it's a good idea. And if you do that, then you will make more money. So there you go. But also, there could be more money coming in for you, just because, again, some of the best months of my life have been Mercury retrograde months, even financially as well. So I don't think it's true that Mercury retrograde can ruin your finances or anything like that. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Mantis ship. It says combat, vision, vibrational sensitivity. You have this Pegasus. It says the Muse, fame, and sacred springs. A lot of attention for you here, Leo. And I think there's a lot of attention for fire signs in general. But you have the Star twice, which is attention. So I would be doing whatever you can to get attention. The Mantis shrimp says vibrational sensitivity, which is kind of the word that's standing out to me on the card. So I would make sure that you're paying attention to your vibes. I would make sure you're paying attention to the vibes you're getting from other people as well. I would make sure that you're, if you're getting any weird vibes or anything like that, I would, trust those feelings. I've been saying this all year, so I think that it's a year where we really need to trust our feelings about things, and we need to try, if something doesn't feel right, we probably shouldn't do it. I just recently told a story, I was supposed to travel with my brother a little while, a month ago, and I just, I felt really weird and just not right, and I just said no. I was like, we'll postpone this and do this later. And so we just didn't, right? And so any feelings that you have, I just wouldn't, plain and simple. Also in the area of your future, messages from your future self, you have the Magician, the Judgment card, and the Knight of Pentacles. I think it's an amazing time for Leo specifically to match the energy of what they want. I literally feel that Leos could be stepping into the energy of the thing that they want to be. And if you do that, you will probably find success very quickly. Again, just through matching the energy of what you want. The other thing is that he is pointing towards the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is just straightforward, diligent work. He's doing one thing, right? And he's keeping it simple. So I think that's important for Leo as well. If you could just focus on doing one thing at a time, like work or business wise, if you could just focus in one direction, I think things will go very well for you here, Leo. And yeah, it's pretty simple. The Eight of Pentacles is about not being scattered. I feel like I've said this to you before, Leo, but but not with the Eight of Pentacles. Probably with the Eight of Wands. But I get the same feeling on the Eight of Pentacles for you, that it's like you can't be pulling in two directions. You can't, you know what I mean? I think that focusing in one direction is going to be very helpful for you, Leo. You have the Judgment card. Judgment is about stepping into your new life. I kind of feel the universe is tapping its foot a little bit with you, Leo, where it's like saying, I feel like the universe has been saying you're holding on too much to things from the past. Like, I'm not criticizing you or anything either, Leo. I just, I think we all do it. But I think the universe is saying, like, hey, I've brought you all these things that it's like, maybe what you don't realize is like, yes, you're going to have to do the work to get these things. But if you do it, I think you will step into your, new life much faster than you think. So definitely time to answer the call with the Judgment card for sure. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Again, Knight of Pentacles, like slow and steady progress. Again, normally I don't really like the Knight of Pentacles because he's the only knight in the tarot that isn't making a move, but I feel pretty good in this reading for you, Leo. We do see a lot of good cards of progress. Ace of Swords twice, 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, even the Magician and the Judgment card are good cards. So, of kind of making progress. So I do feel like you are slowly but surely kind of like moving ahead here with the Knight of Pentacles. With the Magician, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's like a big opportunity for you. For some of you, this could be love, by the way, with that Page of Cups. I wouldn't change either. Like, if you're thinking to yourself, I would have to change to be with this person, or I need to be different, like, no. I feel like this person will like you just the way you are here, Leo. I'm going to be your mother in this reading. Who wouldn't like you, sweetheart, right? And, who wouldn't like you just the way you are? That's this person right here. This person is like exactly what your mom is saying, and it's true. So I think you need to not change, but there could be a big opportunity in love coming in for you here. This could also just be in any area of life. Ace of Pentacles is like a big opportunity that just has potential. I say this to you all the time because you always get the Ace of Pentacles with me. With the Judgment card, you have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, I think it's time to make things more simple. I think this has been true since the beginning of the year for you, Leo. I'm pretty sure that like your major theme for the 2025 readings was simplification. So, anything that you're making more complicated, I would be thinking to yourself, like, how can I make this more simple? How can I make this easier? I also it's like sometimes I think we put things in front of success, if that makes sense, where we say like, oh, I'll start working on this thing that I know will be successful when I do the dishes, right? It's like, I think sometimes we put these things in front of us, and I don't really have a good explanation of it, but I kind of feel like this is saying, don't do that. Like, go for success right now and worry about the dishes later. Or it's like, maybe you're saying to yourself, I'll ask this person out when, or I'll go on a date when XYZ happens. Like, I feel like this is saying like, no, you'll do it right now. Because you're just putting things in front of success. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Emperor. It is time to boss up. I mean, we have all this energy in Aries. So you being a fire sign, Leo, it's an excellent time to take advantage of that Saturn and Aries energy especially. And it's an amazing time to like boss up, take control, take the lead on things, anything that you're doing. It's a great time to start things and initiate things. Judgment card, pretty much says the same thing. Same thing with the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords really is a good card of initiation. It's not really the card of initiation, but it can be a good energy for initiation. Maybe that's what I should be saying, but definitely a good time to boss up. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Temptation card. It says, what is tempting you at this moment may not be a wise choice. It's coming up in the good stuff, so I would say what is tempting you at the moment is a good choice. You have the Success and Triumph. It says, nothing will be able to get in your way. You will surely come out on top. There you go. So you have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a card of coming out on top, and you have it twice. So a lot of you are clearly finding some sort of success. You have the Page of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. Definitely could be an admirer or a love offer coming in for you, or you could be making a love offer, take it how it resonates. You have the Ace of Swords twice. So the Ace of Swords usually can be like communication, or it could be like a, love offer that comes in through communication. So again, if you want love, definitely exists. I would get out there if you want love with the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is also about working on your dream, and we have a ton of cards about your dream. Star, Ten of Pentacles, going up to the Ten of Pentacles here. He has that fish in that cup, and I always say he needs to bring that fish down to earth. So whatever you're trying to accomplish, I would bring it down to earth. You have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, straightforward success. Eight of Pentacles is about putting the work in and making things happen. It's straightforward, diligent work. So he is just working on one thing. I really feel this would be the best thing for Leo. Is just picking one thing and making it happen. Star twice, Ace of Swords twice. Both cards represent having one focus, not 900 focuses. So I think the more focused you can be, the better. Eight of Pentacles is also material success on the horizon. So this is just good for money for you, Leo. If you're trying to make more money, or if you're hoping to make more money, there's definitely probably more money coming in for you with these two cards, or with this card plus, the two stars, the Ace of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. You have the Five of Cups. I think it's time for Leo to not be disappointed. I know that's kind of a lame message, but that's literally what I'm getting off of this card, is that the universe wants you to be happy. The universe doesn't want you to be disappointed anymore. I think the universe is trying to bring you opportunities that are like a gift, with that Ace of Pentacles. But at the same time, I do think you have to take the lead a little bit more with the Emperor type energy and put a lot more, I'm not saying you have to this feels very general to me as well. So this could be any area of your life is what I'm trying to spit out here with the Emperor. But I do think things, squeaky wheel gets the grease, right, is what I'm trying to say. And so in work and business, a little bit more effort I think would go a long way, and also a little bit more focus with the Eight of Pentacles. Same thing in love. It's I'm not saying you have to go and tell a person you're in love with them, but a little bit of flirting here might go a long way. Or, a little bit of, it's maybe this person has no clue who you are. And so you might have to go, put yourself in front of them in some way, or get their attention in some way. I'm not saying you have to approach the person directly, but although it would be helpful, it's trust me, ladies, I'm not picking on you, but I get a lot of comments from you where you're I wouldn't make a move on a man. And I'm always well, if it's the love of your freaking life and it's your only option, you are so stubborn that you wouldn't make a move on a man who would be the love of your life, who would be the perfect person for you. It's I don't understand that. It's not the 1950s anymore, right? So it's yeah, sometimes it's if you see a man, it's you might, it's why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do it? It's we don't live in Cinderella or that horrible movie, Beauty and the Beast, right? Where it's you're going to fall in love with some dude in a castle who's a beast and a man at the same time. It's that doesn't exist, right? So it's you're telling me that if the love of your life was standing in front of you and all you had to do was blink your eyes and say hi, you wouldn't do that? I don't know. It seems a little stubborn to me, but that's just me at the same time. But you have the Eight of Wands here, so I don't know, rant over. There will probably be communication between you and a person. The weird thing is, Leo, is that I think that for some of you there has been communication with a person, but it's what are you looking for? I don't know. It's sometimes it's I don't know. I have something very specific popping into my head where it's maybe you have communicated with this person, but it's I feel maybe not enough. It's this could be one of those things where it's sometimes I think a person does try to flirt with us. We just don't pick up on it, and we don't keep it going, right? And I feel I don't feel this for all of you, but if you have already talked to a crush that you have, I feel this person did try to keep it going, but you didn't, maybe. I'm not calling, it could be them as well. I'm not, I don't want to seem like I'm just calling you out here, Leo, but, so take it how it resonates, but, maybe this already did happen. I'm not sure. But I don't think it matters because it's coming up in the good stuff, so clearly there will be communication. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a victory. Six of Wands is a success. Again, focusing on one thing at a time is going to be your golden ticket here, Leo. So that's what I would do there. With the Five of Cups, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, Three of Wands is expanding past something, right? So with the Five of Cups, we have to expand past disappointment, and we have to step into the unknown. So with the Three of Wands, we also have to do things we've never done before with the Three of Wands. But if you do that, you will be very successful. So that looks good to me. You have this Valley card. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. So pretty successful month for you. I mean, you have very good cards. Star twice, Ace of Swords twice, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Magician, really good, right? So, I think that things are going well. You have this bat. It says, take care, enemies working against you. I would be careful of past people that you've had issues with in general. So, this always comes up for you, Leo, and it's just, I would just pay attention. You have this rose. It says romance is in the air. Yes, definitely could be love coming in for you if you want it. So there you go. You have this career card. Definitely there's a focus on money or career here. I think things are going pretty well, especially if you focus. So, it looks good to me. You have this bird flying. It says news is on the way. Yes, I think there could be communication right here. Don't be afraid to grease those wheels though, or whatever. It's like maybe you need to like this person's picture on Instagram or whatever you kids do nowadays. I don't know. I'm too old. I don't get it anymore. I don't even understand it. So there you go. Right. I have no freaking clue what I'm talking about. So you probably shouldn't even listen to me. But there you go. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And definitely enjoy your month.